The title given to the seventh episode of Rings of Power Season 2 was Doomed to Die. This title is taken from the Ring poem, and it refers to men, and the major plot of this episode was making the 9 rings for men who were doomed to die, according to the Ring poem. The episode began showing Celebrimbor, who is not realizing that Eregion is under attack and is creating the 9 rings for men. But he is slowly starting to realize that he is trapped in an illusion. While Sauron discusses defending the city with the elven soldiers, Adar orders the orcs who were attacking Eregion from across the river that surrounds the city to stop it and aim their trebuchets at the mountains beyond the city. This causes a rock slide that blocks the river upstream, and the orcs uses this path to attack the city's walls on foot. Meanwhile, Elrond reaches Khazad-dûm and asks Prince Durin for help against the orcs in Eregion, and Durin promises that the dwarves will arrive to help them in defeating the orcs. Durin then convinces all the dwarves to join him in the battle against the orcs. But while they were trying to leave for the battle, King Durin attacks Disa and Narvi in an attempt to mine more mithril. Because of this, Prince Durin has 2 choices in front of him: either send their army to Eregion or stop his father before he awakens the evil beneath the mines, and he decides not to send their army to Eregion. Celebrimbor confronts Sauron after realizing he is in an illusion, and Sauron ends the illusion, revealing the battle and the destruction that happened in Eregion. He also finds out that he has made the 9 rings for men using Sauron's blood instead of mithril. Celebrimbor also realizes that Annatar is Sauron, and he tries to warn his soldiers about Sauron. But Sauron had already convinced them that Celebrimbor is mentally unstable, and he makes it look like Celebrimbor pushes Mordania from the city walls to her death. Because of this, Celebrimbor is imprisoned in his forge. Later, Sauron promises Celebrimbor that he will spare the city if the 9 rings are completed. When it looked like the orcs were going to win the battle, Elrond, Gil-galad, and the army of Lindon arrive at Eregion. They find the orcs holding Galadriel hostage. Adar offers to release her in exchange for her ring, Ninya, but Elrond refuses to hand over the ring. Elrond then gives Galadriel a goodbye kiss, but it was actually a cover to give her a pin that she can use to escape her shackles. As the negotiation failed, the army of Lindon joins the battle. During nighttime, Galadriel attempts to escape while Adar and the orcs are mourning their dead. Some orcs finds her, but Eärendil saves her from the orcs, and both of them sneak into Eregion. Meanwhile, Celebrimbor attempts to escape with the 9 rings and is captured by the elven soldiers of Eregion. Galadriel reaches there in time and convinces the soldiers that Celebrimbor has been telling the truth. Celebrimbor gives her the 9 rings and tells her to take it far away from Sauron while he and the soldiers delay Sauron. But Sauron easily kills the soldiers. Meanwhile, Adar releases the hill troll Damrod onto the battlefield, even though most of the orcs didn't like that. Damrod destroys everything at sight. Elrond, Eärendil, and Gil-galad somehow kills Damrod. But Damrod and the orcs had already pushed the elves to the verge of defeat. As the sun rises, the remaining small number of elves are faced with a new wave of orcs led by Adar. Elrond tells everyone that the dwarves will arrive now, but he gets disappointed when he receives information about the dwarves not coming. The battle continues, and Adar stabs Eärendil. He then takes Ninya from Elrond. The orcs breaches the wall and enters Eregion.